here's my rules. Respect everyone. Respect Dr. Drake and what she's going to tell us. No judging. We're here to help. And let's have fun. If you do need to use the bathroom, just don't take it with you. You can leave it on your desk or your table. You can have your drink or whatever you want on there if you're thirsty, because I know I'm drinking like 18 gallons of water right now.
No.
And if you have to go to the bathroom, and by all means, I think I might have to go to the bathroom for maybe 2 times during the show with all the water I'm drinking. I might zip there and zip back. But this show is about Oh Bless. It's about love. It's about passion. It's about compassion. On Friday Night Live on Lynn and Ron's Friday Night Live, there was this young lady that came out of the woodwork, what I say, and these are the people that I'm looking for. And her and Ash are having a conversation. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. I text Marty. I text Ash and Marty. I need to get this lady on Oh Bless. Of course, Ash was talking away to this lady. I knew she had his attention. He sets out that his wife, Ashman, is a big person of what this doctor is going to talk about tonight. Right away, I just say, stop, halt. I got to break in. I apologize. I need you to come to Oh Bless, because a lot of people here and in this Unpassive family loved what you had to say. And I loved what you had to say. So at that note, there are certain people listening but they're not going to come on the webinar. I want to say hello to them. I want to say hello to the 20 YouTube channels out there. May God bless every one of you. This is something that you're going to see in the future on a daily basis. It's called Oh Bless. This is the angels. This is the impassive angels. We got wings bigger than most countries. We will be flying all over the world, helping people out. That's the goal. That's set in stone. I watched a movie the other day where an old Army movie, and the guy said, I'm going to be the first one on the ground and the last one to leave in the ground. That's my commitment to every one of you. When these Oh Bless projects come along, like what just happened in Florida. Ash actually showed me a video on it and said, oh my God, I didn't realize the devastation of how bad it really was. Guess what's going to happen in that case? Oh Bless is going to come running in. We're going to fix things. We're going to give water where needed, food. And that's what we plan on doing for the whole world. But for those catastrophes, that's where people's really going to find out about Oh Bless and the angels. So on that note, I'd like to introduce, I think I didn't forget no one. I'll get you at the end if I forgot you. I'd like to introduce Dr. Drake. She's a phenomenal lady. Most of you probably seen her on Friday Night Live. And she's going to do a beautiful PowerPoint. Please give her your full attention. And if there's room at the end, we'll get some Q&A and have a little bit of fun. So on that note, Dr. Dre, the show is all yours. And thank you for coming.
Great. Thank you so much. I just had a power failure in the house, so I just got back on just in the moment that you just said hello to me.
You're kidding me.
No kidding.
Wow.
It's just so wonderful to be invited by this incredible group of, spiritual giants. And I so feel honored to be even asked to come on here. And I know that all of you are kind of preaching to the choir, but I have a lot of information that I think might help you just understand where we could really go with OnPassive as a tool for educating the world. And this is one of the areas that I put a little PowerPoint together. If you could give me the chance, or I'm going to screen share with you here.
You got it, Deborah. I just gave you the co-host.
Excellent. There we go. Well, there's so many things I want to say to you guys. I had to talk with a few of my friends to say, what should I leave out? Because I could talk for days and hours and years about what I love, and which is life, love and life. And I have a motto of see one, do one, and teach one. And I think that that's what.
Oh, no, are we losing Deborah?
Oops.
She's definitely frozen. She's frozen.
Give her a second.
Yeah, I think she got knocked off.
That panel might have gone out again, Chris.
An old medical.
Yeah, she was having an electricity problem.
She's back.
She's
Hi.
back.
I'm just wondering if because you have 8 co-hosts, I'm having trouble sharing the lead with all these 8 co-hosts. I don't know.
I'm not sure if
It might help, Deborah, if you turn your camera off.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
you're
do
doing
that.
it.
Just give me a chance to just take that out of the equation here. 1 second. Stop my video. Okie dokie. Hopefully that'll help out, okay?
You're fine. You just.
So,
So much for
This is gonna be a long presentation.
Her mic is on.
that. When she's on, it's very clear.
Will it help if we take our videos down?
Yeah, her,
No, it's
who
her
has
problem.
contact her, text her, otherwise she'll be talking on her own there.
case to manifest your good health as you move through life. And
Dr. Drake, can you hear me? Because your sound keeps going out. I'm trying to find you on the picture here.
She turned her camera off, Chris. You won't find her.
I'm looking for her
are you
name.
hearing me?
Yeah, now, Dr. Drake, you keep going in and out.
Okay, I'll try to speak quietly and slowly.
Okay.
So I have an academy to teach bioenergetic medicine. Many of you in Oblast would want to have an academy to teach anything possible that you could have under the sun, because now we can actually talk to
Lex, pick
people
this
in
man.
200 countries. So if you can't hear me, please tell me so I'll stop, okay?
Yes, we can hear you, Dr. Drake. Keep
Loud and
going.
clear, Doc. You just keep
Okay,
going.
I'll just carry on. Well, you know, folks, I'm not here to brag about my credentials, but I do have a degree in almost everything, which is what Ash Mofera is trying to do, is give you a complete holistic view of marketing, just like I have a holistic view of medicine. So I was a biologist, a kinesiologist, a psychotherapist, biochemistry major. I did a doctor of medicine at McMaster University. I did my residency in family medicine, emergency medicine, and psychotherapy and sports medicine at the University of Toronto. I then became a certified biofeedback specialist in training people around the world in bioenergetic medicine. And then I eventually ran into problems because the pharmaceutical industry didn't want me to necessarily preach a very cheap, easy, safe solution to what medicine had to offer in the last century. So I switched out of medicine and retired my license in protest and went into integrative medicine. And then I became, I was awarded as a doctor of humanitarian medicine for my outreach in the community and my world outreach. I then got an osteopathic degree on how to, touch the body, how to use light matrix therapy and frequency matrix to help vibrate the body into good harmony. And then I studied Ayurvedic medicine and traditional Chinese medicine on how to detox the body. And I now am a lecturer at the Department of Bioenergetics at the Canadian College of Humanitarian Medicine, as well as a certificate and board member of the Board of Integrative Medicine. And I'm also a member of the World Organization of Natural Medicine, where I will be the MC at their annual Congress after speaking with, working with them for a decade. I'm going to be the chairman of this upcoming October convention. So you can see that I have had a lot of experience in energy, in the field of energy and in the field of balancing energy. And any company that wants to product produced and profit out. That's what the profit motive is of having a business that helps you make money, but hopefully by doing something that you love and that is a good service to humanity. So ONPASSIVE is a perfect service to humanity with all the good and none of the negative. Really, we don't have the kinds of terrible problems that we would have if we were to look at the old ways of entrepreneurship. Can of tuna after I fought the College of Physicians and Surgeons for 10 years to stop vaccinating autistic children and to use bioenergetic medicine on brain tumor clients and cancer. And they just wouldn't have anything to do with it. No matter what I did, they would put another committee on my tail, another person in a trench coat in my backyard, a black van following me. I was really persecuted within an inch of my life, really. So I came to the
Doctor, it's cut out again, Doctor. I don't know if you can hear me, but your Wi-Fi keeps going in and out.
Okay, I wonder why that might be.
I don't know. It was going perfect, and now you get little, you're doing a sentence and it kind of stops you in the middle, then it picks you up again.
Okay, it could be that I'm speaking too loud or too quickly. I'll slow down a little bit there.
Okay, you sound perfect right now.
So my goal is, I want to use Blessed to do what I do well, and I want other people to be able to use Blessed to do what they do well. And I think that the ability for having integrative technologies like integrated coaching, and I'm going to show you some of the things that I do, but if we could teach doctors and nurses and practitioners around the world how to do better medicine, for instance, if we could teach the skills that are about building new communities with better water supply, better communal gardens, better ability to access incredible data, then we could bring the world into a much better state for the age of Aquarius. So as an international doctor, I am so grateful to the ONPASSIVE's turnkey suite, because in my life, I tried to reproduce what Ash is doing. As some of you may have heard, a funny story. When I was suspended from medicine for doing what I love because it was so corrupted, I had to ask God for help. And just like Ash Mofair said, there's a hand of God in this. One afternoon when I had $322 left in the bank, I went to a self-motivation convention where the lecturer had everybody jump up and down as if they'd won the lottery to get the emotion behind ourselves. And when I did so, I went home that night and took my last $200, put it on a casino, never been there before. I tried the online casino, and I prayed to God that if he wants me to do something holistic and good for humanity, that he's going to have to pass some monetary change through my hands. I'm not greedy. I don't need to be rich, but I need some gas in my tank. That night, I won $20,000, then 40, then 80. And the way I won it was by doubling every bet so that I kept doubling and doubling and doubling. And that's how I won $100,000. I pulled out of the casino and spent the $100,000 on buying massive amounts of software, traffic software, autoresponder software, funnel software, you name it. I went to JB Zoo and ClickBanks and I bought one of every product and started trying to learn a new career as a marketer. And I got a big humble pie that it was much more difficult than I thought. You'd think that a doctor would have lots of intelligence to run a marketing campaign, but no, there were certain steps that you had to have in sequence to make the proper operation work. And this is what Ash Mofair has gone back and said, all of us may have the intention for greatness, but if you don't have that mechanism, you aren't going to have that success. So I offer people the idea that for me, my problem that I am seeking to solve is that as a healthcare entrepreneur and as a professor, I don't have the luxury of pharmaceutical companies giving me funding, governments giving grants, industry products to back up natural medicine, insurance companies that back us, pharmaceutical corporate sponsors. The people in natural medicine do not have any of that funding whatsoever. So if we're going to change the paradigm towards less invasive, more natural medicine in the world, we have to invent a new funding platform for medicine. And so I enrolled myself, as well as with the God blessed help of Francesco Horbe, who called me on Christmas and said, you got to check out ONPASSIVE. And I was almost in tears telling her, I think this is a godsend, because all the doors for me were closed. And she offered this open door where I could actually move somewhere forward without being stalled, impeded, restricted, suppressed, gag ordered, whatever. I could actually come out of retirement and give the world at least the education that I have to give. So towards this end, I invested in ONPASSIVE and I enrolled multiple different professors and all the people I know around the world who are the best at their job in water, in bioenergy, in real estate, such as Margaret Mead. We have a whole team of 20 different founders that are all expert in their field, that I'm trying to build together a galactic village of educators that would be willing to bring their professional expertise to the world. And then, of course, I'm thinking, well, and you're offering this for $97 when I just spent $100,000? Oh my goodness. So when you realize that I spent 50 years trying to get my job in perfection, now Ash Mofair has picked 600 experts in IT, expert surgeons in their own field, and he's put the best of the best together. And then because of the power of many softwares and the fiber optic world we're coming into, he was able to move the idea into a seed, into a plant, into a tree, and now into an oak tree that's dropping, acorns down on us, that we will have the ability to grow new sets of forests of new, helpful, productive, constructive entrepreneurs around the world. Most of which, or many, I should say many, half of which are women who've been working at home, and many are men who have been laid off of their jobs. So it's really not just a time-saving outreach here. We're talking about equality around the whole world, okay? Now, every one of us has financial needs, and we all need some kind of help to get our humanitarian pet project off the ground, but most of us do not have that financial means or mechanism to execute that dream into reality. So by sharing Oh Bless and having people accomplish whatever dreams they have, big or small, giving them a mechanism or a platform to reach out to their area of influence in their tribe, we can really bring people together again, not just socially, but with fiscal power to bring $5 times a million founders to build that runway in New Guinea, or to help ourselves buy, trucks and trailers for people who need to break the ground, got flooded out. So I believe that using the idea of my big dream, such as something like my My Health Club, where we could actually promote longevity, but with a twist, and that is that I would be happy to do a monthly session for the founders and give them my best evidence-based ideas on how they can get less broke, less ill, less tired, and less unsupported by getting clearer in their brain through healthy practices, and they're clearer in their business to have more income. And out of that, they're likely to be better leaders in a great blessed project that would help humanity using these new cyber tools that reduce the back office problems, ease the stress on the humanitarians, and give them a longer, steadier lifetime to execute their dream. So my goal is to bring the mind, body, and spirit together to make a bigger impact for more people than what I can do at a one-on-one in my office. It's time that I need to teach 1 million people at a time. We need 1 million coaches doing self-care to 1 million other people and start really riding to the top. And I think that Oh Blessed is Oh Blessed is giving us the chance to ride up there, right? Now, what is the currency of our company? Well, it's goodwill, because you've already shown how to lower the price of intake. You've showed the price reduction by using fiber optic data centers. So really, what is it down to? If we can energize the population with the voltage of the money, the capacitance to explore, and the little tungsten wire of the minerals called money to keep it flowing, then we can keep the light bulb on many of these projects that have been stuck in the dark. Now, I have a website called healthcounts.ca, which is admittedly quite a mess because I've been trying to build it myself with no necessary knowledge, particularly to make it pretty as Ash's websites are looking. But I still would like the engineers of ONPASSIVE to help me tweak my site so that I could reach out to more people, just like you guys would want your site or your potential. And if those of you who don't have a website, they'll build it for you. And I have built many classes, but I'll tell you what, I spent 3 years while we were in lockdown recording everything I could think of out of my brain into many classes here. The Health Academy that I gives a bioterrain course that shows you how to drain the poisons from beneath and, flourish from above. And that's a basic standard course that you can get free online for me. I brought out the Music is Medicine course on how to use bioenergetic medicine to vibrate new patterns of health in people. And I teach that at a college for burdening coaches. I brought out the Fundamentals of Living Well on how to detoxify the body from every stage of every organ in the body one by one until after you're so refreshed that it's likely that your body would start prematurely anti-aging, where you're helping the body repair itself as you go. And more recently, I've developed the Health Safari for the layman, which is the organ of the month club, where I give the yin and yang organ. Every season we rotate different organs. And as we rotate through the year, we need to clean up different things at different times. So I could envision us having an Oh My Health club where people learn how to detox as they're learning to manage all their money that they're going to be developing through their projects. They still need to keep healthy enough to spend it. So my big dreams come in layers, and I've been trying for many years to layer out what are the steps and learn how we can actually heal ourselves. And I think that ONPASSIVE is making those layers visible by giving us a different set of technologies. Just like in traditional Chinese medicine, most people don't know that every organ in your body only works for 2 hours a day. And then it hands off its energy requirements to the next organ. So the in yin and the out yang organ are processing energy only for a couple hours a day. And then they're changing their software and hardware over to the next organ that goes on for the next couple of hours. And then those two organs then hand off their detoxification byproducts to the kidney and the bladder and the gallbladder and liver to detoxify you at night, and to have your lungs and large intestine blow off all those gases by night. Well, I kind of see ONPASSIVE like this. You sort of have to have the right sequence in the right order with the right relay race to get each parts of your business, such as your list building, then your traffic, then your landing pages, then your offer, and then your free gifts, and then your academy and your shopping cart. I mean, that's a lot for average person to get all organized. And as smart as I might be, it took me 3 years to figure out all this myself. And then Ashma Farah comes along and says, ding dong, hey, I got it all done for you. Hey, you don't have to worry about the engineering. Oh, hey, we got the automatic anti-spamming. Oh yeah, and we've got the build your own funnels. Oh yeah, you can use your own creativity. Oh, you can store all your freebies for 200 years in your Oh My Life. Oh yeah, you can have your academy broadcast all across the world with new traffic of 1 million founders and more. Oh my goodness. Now, isn't this opening up the spinning wheel, the water wheel of health and the water wheel of life and flow, right? Now, the thing is that if you try to bend Mother Nature out of shape, even one of these steps, you're going to be in trouble. So if you try to skip even one of Ashma Farah's recommended strategies, for which he's had 700 world-class engineers tell him how it must work for efficiency, then you're going to miss the boat on how this can work for you automatically. Now, when you get everything working together, the body is communicating, just like we are a flock of ONPASSIVE founders now working like a syncytium. Together, we're actually cleaning out our chakras, if you will, of bad doubts, bad behaviors, old bad habits. We're cleaning out our business mind of old, dysfunctional, obsolete technologies, and we have to be open to new learning. And the frequency of Tesla's numbers, the 369 of Tesla, the frequency of the geometry of the earth, the frequency of the geometry of free energy. What is it when you get the geometry right? It's called structure produces function. So when you get the form of you right with all the ticks and balances that's taken us a few years to get in all in a row, and I don't blame Ashma Farah one single moment of delay, because he's taking care of that business so we don't have to, okay? So if you can get that pumping station making this gorgeous vortex of energy, and that's what our company is now. It came from a little axle and a little drawing on a napkin somewhere in a restaurant to actually a architectural cube of energy. And this is what we say in life is, if you have the pumping voltage, makes the amperage or the current and the resistance for electricity. So in order to break down our company, we have to be healthy in our water, clean in our mind, clean in our verbiage. We have to be good in the pH of being balanced, not extreme. We have to be full of minerals and grounded in reality. So, you know, just as so is above, so is below, our physical health and our corporate health are really going to be in parallel. And if you can use brainwave entrainment music, for instance, this is where one of the ways I can help you. I can put on concerts for you to increase your brainwave power. I can show you how to musically increase your neurotransmitters and your super learning. So everybody in our broadcasts are listening to my super broadcast music in the background, and you just get smarter as you're listening. We could broadcast this over a concert. We could broadcast this into videos and use it to increase learning disorder improvements or reduce deafness in children for getting their acetylcholine back in their ears. I mean, we can use the reduction of painkillers and psychiatric disorders by broadcasting good harmony and music and light into people. So if we can use the idea that Tesla proved that all of life is frequencies and energies, and the purer and the more carefully you rotate those frequencies, the more self-sustaining longevity will be this company, will be your own physiology, will be the ability for you to translate that love out to others because you're radiating good love and good money and good projects. So you will, through the law of attraction, just start attracting great things to yourself. And why? Because you're aligned, you're focused, you're in balance. And that's what Ashma is forcing us to get in alignment with the proper mechanisms of our business. Now, I use voice analysis to tell while people are sick, because we can see where things are in a healthy vibrational pattern, or when you're very sharp and irritated, like an inflamed person, or whether you're really low with a low thyroid and you can't get your message across, or whether you've got a parasite on you that's making a crazy noise in your voice. Well, how can we use that kind of technology? You can use the voice like a different stringed instrument, and you can pull out of the voice the sharp, inflamed parts of your body, the degenerative flat notes, and put the body back in tune. And this is what I think Ashma is doing while he's purging the founders and the people who didn't sign on properly or who weren't really committed. And he's weaning out the people who aren't really committed by giving them an option of a refund and saying, like, get in it to win it, because we don't want any stray violin in our group that's making bad music. We are an orchestra, us founders, and we if we had one bad tuba player making bad sour notes in the back chat room, it could make the whole company look bad. And this is where I completely suggest that the positive artificial intelligence of looking at our business in the same precision. Where are the business analytics showing there's too much traffic or too much downtime, too much inflammation in our systems, or too much lack of degeneration? We can use that same kind of digital music to make digital frequencies. And this is how we're going to use our new data centers, folks. We're going to convert the waveforms of digital information, and we're going to send it down a fiber optic cable that twice the speed, half the cost, right around the whole world. So by using these manipulations of positive use of energy, such as light waves for digital technology, we can send these different signals around the world as a light carrier, but the light can be broken down into its subcomponents. So this allows us to send a lot of information on these new fiber optic cables. We used to have like a positive 1 or 2 elements of wiring, but now we have 8 cables in fiber optic. So the combinations and permutations of getting things done faster is going to allow us to have digital music, digital broadcasts in high definition, digital O-Connect room. We're going to be able to tap into that digital world of music, translated into digital education, if you will. I'm trying to push that analogy, but to say that we're going to have no discordance or disharmony. We're going to have all these wavelengths of tons of different information pouring down simultaneously in 7 different data centers around the world, connecting all of us to the same downbeat. So really, I kind of envision ONPASSIVE as like the orchestra conductor, and it's getting all of us wild people all over the place, getting all on the downbeat, trying to get us moving in the same forward direction. And by using the polychromatic light or polychromatic polarized incoherent low-level light in health, or using the very polarized coherent lasers for laser beams, now we're going to be sending all of this information down to you guys in combinations around the world, connecting us all. There's no other time in my life that I could ever reach out to 20,000 of you in one afternoon like this. So if we use coherent light to use wavelengths, we have to think about that also in this new fiber optic data center we're using with this laser light, where it's coherently able to reach everywhere in the world, to every cell phone, every tablet. And that's going to be inclusive to bring everybody into the dawn of the new age of medicine. Now, today I made a lecture on this one particular product called Red Light, which increases the wavelength of deep penetration through your skin, just like these longer wavelengths can go through the skin. So now we have this kind of medicine. For instance, it's an infrared light that has pulsed electromagnetic field pulsing energy to give a surround sound around your body. And it has a Bluetooth connection to your cell phone or tablet where you can put the frequencies of healing medicine, the frequencies of chakras, the frequencies of meridians, psychic protection, minerals, organs, bioterrain detection of parasites, and you can send healing back digitally through the body to improve your oxygen, your blood flow, to make the platelets stop clumping and give antioxidants through light. You can stimulate your collagen production and your circulation repair of your blood vessels. You can reduce the stress of athletes by having them wear this to recover, just like every night they could recover their body and put biophotonic modulation to have them restore their antioxidants from performing yesterday. We can use this to treat painlessly the massive epidemic of opioids. 50% of our healthcare budget is spent on pain medicine, and the other 50% is spent on psychiatry. Well, what if we just weren't in pain? What if we weren't crazy? What if we all dewormed the whole world? What if we actually could use, without medications and incisions, we could actually reduce inflammation of the population in the most incredible floods around the world, in the hurricanes that are going on, the people who have no way to go down the street to a walk-in clinic or a hospital because there's just none in that area. Now we can export digital medicine through light and sound and through technology, spreading it wide around the world. We can use this kind of light for pain and strains and back pain, carpal tunnel, fibromyalgia, beautification of the wounds, of the skin, and wound repair. All these things like wrinkles and smoking, all these things could be new kind of products we could produce in our new O shop. And we could have people developing biotechnology like this new laser that sends off nitric oxide to reduce heart attacks, improve blood flow to the heart. It basically delivers incredibly open, dilated blood vessels just by putting light on your arteries, eliminating waste byproducts, and also absorbing it into your mitochondria. So now we can use antioxidants and blood flow to heal most illnesses. Now, here's one fact you need to memorize. 85% of illness is due to really inflammation or degeneration from lack of oxygen. So if you can use digital software and digital hardware just to increase or reduce inflammation, improve blood vessels, collagen and cartilage, muscle regeneration and nerve and bone formation, can you imagine how strong our ONPASSIVE nation will be, where many of our clients are in their elderly years looking for retirement income? Well, I want them to be alive long enough to run around and on the trampoline and jump for joy when they get their money in. So what I'm talking about here is the ONPASSIVE is actually one of the breaking companies to pass from digital. So here we have our old LP analog, old kind of old-fashioned dial up your phone on the old modem and, have all those delays. And now we use a digital diamond bit in that to translate it into a digital kind of music. So now we've got CDs, right, with digital music. Then we're going to take that digital music and convert it back into optical signals and send optical information around the world at the speed of light. So Ashma Farah is bringing us a century forward in optical technology that has better cost, better efficiencies, less side effects. It's going to make our lives universally light years ahead of the competition. Just like my quantum medicine is using light and sound vibration to change the shape of biology, I believe ONPASSIVE and the generosity of the hearts of O Blessed will be using the light of digital transmission, the sound waves, and the positive vibrations of the heart of this company to change the shape and the form of the business world. So I'm going to say that really ONPASSIVE is the correction to the corruption. And we have to realize that we may get some blowback because, other people like the old ways of old traffic, old recruiting, old website development, payment gateways, commissions, and all these multiple platforms has really been cleared away from us. The new method says you can have automated traffic. That's the hardest thing to get in multiple countries and languages. Build a team automatically for you with a dump for your website, a payment gateway built in, digital commissions, and 50 different products that everybody already wants to use. So how can you go wrong here? Where's the negative here in this company? Show me there's a negative to this company. I can't seem to find it yet. I'm open to hearing about it, but I haven't been able to, get over the fact that for me, I'm going to have 20,000 attendees in my class. in multiple languages and subtitles. I'm going to be able to imply that education is the equalizer in every society. And if we can deliver equal access to education and health information, we really can change lives for the better. So I was impressed, for instance, with the one sign-in where we had that tour from Ash 2 Thursdays ago. I mean, he was just blowing by the menu on that dashboard like it was a piece of cake. You know, we have the incredible integrated technologies. We have extraordinary residual income. We have 1 million founders already with good intentions giving us this huge power. We have the mechanisms to plan architecturally and execute this. We also have the disruptive technology for automating and streamlining it. So we're really talking about the birth of a whole new age of Aquarius, really, where there's crowdfunding for everybody, where there's opportunities at a low input cost, and the Blessed checkout feature where people could put $5 instead of on a piece of coffee or a drive-through donut, put that $5 into the Blessed big shopping cart whenever you're checking out for whatever you're buying. Why not give a little bit back to Blessed? You're going to be wealthy with other things coming through with your donations and with your commissions and your bonuses. What about putting $5 down times a million founders? That could launch 5 $1 million projects right there. And we have the experience behind us to develop these automated systems that I don't even know about, that Marty and Lynn and Chris keep telling us, like, we don't even know how big this is going to get, right? I'm just trying to bring it down to what an average person can handle. So if we can let the machine do the learning, if we can let the automated data centers deliver what they need to us professionally with unique links to us, the market value, above market value products, the complex parts of everything done for you behind the scenes. So all you got to do is share this. Really, you just have to care and share, because one way or the other, somebody's going to visit your website or your Mail account, and this company will track whoever visits your site forevermore. And if they buy something later down the road, you're going to get tagged for that bonus. So the only thing you have to do is learn how to share this system with using the multimedia tools, the beautiful artistic creative tools that you have in the background, and you're going to have abilities to take that amazing amount of humanitarian effort and put it into your will or your estate or your church or a humanitarian project or some other blessed dream that you could help others with. So I'm really pleased, for me, about using the desk for the professional back office so I don't have to hire staff and use a lot of extra income for that. I'm happy about the intelligent tools all under one sign-in and one roof. I'm happy about the anti-spamming tools. I'm happy that you're giving some freebies. Again, from the heart, this company is showing you right up the front. Let's get everybody at least some accessibility and then bring it forward by avoiding quotas and MLM structures and time limits, instead letting this gradually scale up in a natural way. Now, the other thing last week we learned is that the first time you sell anything to someone else, you get 100% commission. Now, where are you ever going to get that in another company? So that the moment that you buy an academy and you sell it to one other professor, you've got 100% income back, so that now you can defray your original setup costs. And of course, you founders are going to be not be receiving enough commissions that you won't have to pay the second or third month, because there's enough income already flowing across your desktop. So you can grow your business on your own royalties and keep buying more products, more reseller items, and accentuate that, pyramid of improvements. We solved the problem with the quantum financial system for money laundering, not getting paid, not getting rewarded properly in a timely manner. Now we're going to have a blockchain wallet with daily sales withdrawals right to your bank if you want. There's really no other better way to say it. You sell something today and you get paid today. That's absolutely fantastic for building the cash flow. We also have 3.5 billion users, for which we're targeting 10% of those. And we're already exceeding those targets, it looks like. So we're going to have a growing business for years to come. And of course, I couldn't go on without leaving you with a picture of, if you look at your own website in the back office, look at how gorgeous it is. This wasn't there 4 years ago. When I'm trying to talk, my professors into buying into this idea, I go to this page and I say, which one of these things do you want the most? Which one of these things can you do without? You're going to need a chat room, a staff room, and a domain. You're going to need to capture, post, and track. You're going to need commerce connections and peers. You're going to have all of these things to have a Zoom room that can reach 40,000 or 20,000 people. You want to customize it. You want to trim it. You want all of these things. I mean, is there any one of these things that I don't want? I mean, I don't want to say I'm hoarding, but yeah, I could use every single one of these tools. And you should too, because if you want to get a good business going, you're going to need these kinds of things too. And don't forget that on the back office of your website, on the, on passive, I think this is invitation number 71, but they're putting new, websites out every day. If you look over there, how they support you, they've got a whole section of business marketing tools, blogs, bots, and technical skills on how to use the stuff to save you the hassle of setting this up for yourself. Like all of these videos and the popular events, the rewards, the corporate and products. I mean, there's no way that I have the time in the day to do this and repopulate it every day, folks. And nor do you, realistically. So if you can go into these products and look at these trim tool, make sure every time you walk into that product back office, you should be learning a new tool every week so that you too will learn how to be a better representative of your own business and or to learn what tools are great for you to resell. So on the end of that note, I am going to be giving a big speech to the World Organization of Natural Medicine and the Humanitarian University coming up. And if any of you do want to take a course in natural medicine, these are the top 12 professors around the world going to put on a live summit of looking at medicine from every angle possible. So I want you to, if you're interested, the Be Equipped to Heal conference, I'll be the chairperson this year. And you can get that registration conference link there if you needed it. But I could suggest to you, that if you want that link, it's right here on my website at healthcounts.ca in that red box there if you need to get further education. So on that note, I'm going to suggest that I hand it back to you there. I just wanted to maybe go back to the panel now and maybe open it up for questions, or I kind of blown by you there, Chris. So I'm going to ask you what your comments and what do you think about all that?
Let me tell you something. All right. I'm literally getting blown up on my phone by many people on this panel, people that are listening on YouTube's. I'm going to say this. I just texted Marty about this, and I've been texting Ash about some things, and I never see, number one, 100% my favorite presentation of all time. And I'm not knocking anybody. You are definitely professional at doing this. I've never seen anyone take a passive presentation, your presentation, and combine it all together and make complete sense. Myself followed it very good. You have a lot of fans, and they're blowing up my phone. But I thought that was actually, I don't have questions because I think you answered them all. Every time I thought of one, you'd say something. I am totally impressed, my opinion. I know that I can't see if you want to stop sharing your screen so I can see. I know there's some hands up. I want to get to them and we'll go from there. But I personally wish everyone would just right now give her a big round of applause because I thought that was a phenomenal presentation. And I'm not kidding you. And I don't just say things like that. It was great.
Well, remember, I learned it all from you. I took all the best quotes from all the leadership meetings and I put it all in one presentation.
I noticed that you took a little bit of everything and you put it in this big mixing bowl. You stirred it up with your own stuff and it came out really good. So my personal thank you, because I thought that was amazing. I knew this was going to be fun, but I don't think you realize how many people follow on an everyday life, what you're talking about and what you do. There's a lot of people who are really into this stuff. And I know one of them is Ash Mafar's wife. Many on here I see, I guarantee you Willow's not going to just stop talking when I get to her. I guarantee you that. So, but first of all, let me start off with the hands because we got a lot of hands, but is there anything else you want to add, Doctor?
Well, I'm just going to say that I'm very proud of this company for sticking to the truth. I believe honestly that we've lost the thread of truth in medicine and maybe in business and maybe in finance. And this really is the correction to the corruption. And I'm sick of corruption. I'm sick up to the eyeballs of it. I'm showing you my humorous side tonight, but I have been through the ringer of bull roar trying to basically just get people well. there should not be that many blocks to business or to medicine. And I can't tell you how thrilled I am to work with the people like Francesca Horbe, like Margaret Mead, like all the professors I've talked into joining this, because we are stalled and we want to get somewhere. We feel like we're at the red light with the brakes on, pumping the gas, and it's time for, Ash Mafera is ripping off the lid and saying, okay, everybody out of the horse's gate, let's go. And we are so pent up that I hope we're not going to blow everybody away, because we're going to have to do it somewhat with grace and ease to not, blow the cork. When, one of the best advices that you ever gave me, Chris, was, just tell people a little bit about the company, because if you really told them about the whole thing, they'd be so blown away that their head would be spinning and they wouldn't join in because they couldn't figure out the first step on the staircase. So I have tried to move back to say, just get in there on the O Mail, just get in there on the O Connect, get in there on the stuff you're already using, and eventually, you'll find what you need, because there's something for everybody. So I just think of this as like an ice cream parlor with a flavor for everybody. And there's no two businesses that are going to run the same, but we all still need the same palette and paintbrush to do our business. So Ash is giving us that palette, and I can't thank him enough. I can't thank all of you enough. And I just bless you as well, Chris, for taking on the idea that the humanitarian side of business really needs to come up to the top of the ladder.
Absolutely. Marty, what did you say? You said, what do you want to say, Marty?
I gotta cut in. I'm just amazed, Deborah, that your head is a normal size. With all that information, I could have sworn it had to be the size of a Zeppelin.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to fan myself now with all that.
Oh, man, you better have a fire extinguisher. Absolutely fantastic. You blew me away. Blew me away. I thought I was you as crazy as they get, but what a beautiful crazy you are. Thank you very much.
You have to be crazy to get outside the box, because the box is limiting your creativity. And I think that that's where the hardest part for me was to leave the box of old allopathic medicine. And I fought leaving it until my mother finally said to me, stop throwing your pearl before swine. And I finally had to say, okay, I can't get there. Let's just change direction to something that we can have control over and an influence on. So I think that each one of you has an influence in your own life. And it's not my education that makes me great. It's the God in my veins that is the light of enlightenment, that is the power of humanitarian godliness, sharing things, being sweet, being kind, being harmonious. That's where we have to re-practice. And I think that this company is doing a great job at leading in that field.
Wow. Okay, we're going to start with the questions, if you don't mind, Doctor. And remember, I believe I'm going to call her Dr. Drake. Doctor, is there anything, would you rather just be called Dr. Drake or Deborah? I always give people the option.
You can call me Deb. I'm fine with Deb. I know that we don't need titles in this group. We're all equals.
Ooh, I love this lady. All right, Doctor. Let's get Judith Oliver. Can you please unmute yourself?
Hi, Deb. I am so overwhelmed. I don't know where to start. I am 79 years old, and I have been searching for different ways to find out what's going on with my body, using the light therapy, doing all the different things. And I want to tell you, I am so impressed with your presentation and your knowledge of ONPASSIVE and what you're going to bring to us. I want to take all your courses, and I'm just overwhelmed with excitement. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Judy. It's really nice of you to mention that. And, everybody needs a little education, and it's as much as we can make it for free, we can really get everybody on the basic same playing field. So I welcome you to try my bioterrain course. That's a really good one for free that you might want to just enjoy getting the basics done.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Judith. Dave Roslewski, please unmute yourself.
Hello. I just got to say that when I heard you talking the other day, I was just blown away, head over heels, loving everything you were saying. Once ONPASSIVE starts, I absolutely plan on getting some reseller positions under you to try to help support your cause. And like you said, I think most of, not everybody, so I hope everybody doesn't take this the wrong way, but I think most of medicine is taking the Hippocratic oath instead of the Hippocratic oath. You know, we got a lot of great people, you know, Key Wendell, for instance, that guy never stops. He's, you know, go at his own health and welfare, you know, at the expense of himself. You know, my sister's the same way. And I know there's oceans of people like that, but we got to get away from system management and get back to healing. And the way you're doing it just inspires the ever-loving stuffings out of me. And
I'm so glad.
Mike, I'm curious because, you know, I had an accident over about 35 years ago. I got knocked off a building, fell down 3 stories onto concrete.
Ouch.
Yeah. And I've had a few issues ever since then. But over the years, I've tried everything over the counter, under the counter, you know, this, that, and the other thing, anything I could find to help. I finally found this one thing that works pretty good. I was just curious what your thoughts are, because you were talking about light therapies and sound waves and things. And this thing I have deals with light, heat, and terra waves. I was just wondering if you deal with terra waves and what's your experience with that, what are your opinions?
That's a great tool. Just so everybody understands it, if you have a stereo at home, you have a bass, a mid-range, and a treble. The bass requires a lot of power for the woofers, and that's called your brain. Your brain works in 60 hertz, you know, gamma waves, beta waves, theta waves, delta waves down to 4. So 0 to 60 hertz or so is the brain bass. Whereas the middle of the body is the sympathetic nervous system that runs the heart. That's the mid-range, like 50 hertz to 1500 hertz. Then there's the vagus nerve, which is the big long nerve that goes from your head to your toe, and it stimulates all your blood vessels, and it requires very high frequencies. Okay, so when you're talking about terahertz, those are the high frequencies that calm down the vagus nerve and this parasympathetic nervous system. And they also can penetrate right through, because they're so tiny waves, they can penetrate through your back. So when you use that blow dryer like wand on your back, the frequencies are carried on a red light as a piggyback, carrying these high frequencies into your vagus nerve and your bone marrow to stimulate your stem cells. So this can help your body repair itself by stimulating the original primordial cells of your childhood.
Okay.
Which are, by the way, in the prostate or the G-spot in women, which run on zinc that is missing, and many people are grounded, are lacking in zinc. And during the COVID epidemic, we noticed that the remedies for COVID were the same remedies that put zinc back into you. Vitamin D, the zinc, vitamin C, quercetin, they all charge back up your mitochondrial zinc for carrying light.
Okay. Oh, cool. Yeah, no, that explains a lot, because I've been feeling better and I'm like slowly getting back to exercise, and I'm trying not to hurt myself, but I was just wondering. Okay. I didn't know if it was me or if I was crazy or if it actually worked. Cool.
There's another tool that I've been helpful inventing. This is a Tesla coil, which is a subwoofer for your brain, but it doesn't have a cone on it, so you don't hear it. You just put it on your body, and now you're vibrating these frequencies right into the bone marrow and through your hollow skull. Not the hollow skull, but the hollow sinuses and the hollow organs. So most people don't realize radio waves go around a cell, but magnets go through a cell. So the combination of using both magnetic therapy and light therapy together with frequencies is a fabulous combination to cover the brain, the heart, and the guts.
Okay, yeah, because I know Nikola Tesla was doing an experiment in his office where he set up a situation and he had everybody in the lab doing it. And during the year that he conducted the experiment, nobody got aches and pains, nobody had sickness, their allergies went away, all their little aches and pains that they had weren't bothering them. That's what got me into it. And then I found.
Did you know that he sterilized the New Yorker hotel by carrying an ultraviolet light with ozone and walked through all the rooms and killed all the bugs in the rooms, so the hotel didn't have staph or strep in the hotel?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. I'll let you move on. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Nice to meet you, Dave.
Nice to meet you. And I'll be looking you up once ONPASSIVE starts. I got your name written down. I'm getting some reseller positions under you.
Okay, wonderful.
All right.
Thanks.
David, I'm laughing because, listen, anyone that's got a question for this young, beautiful lady, be ready for an answer. And I don't mean a simple answer. She's going to give it to you straight. Now, before I go on to my beautiful sister, Jean, I want to let you know, I asked Ash, what do you think? You ready for this, doctor? Doctor, are you there?
I'm ready.
This is what he said to me. I said, so what did you think? I said, to me, she just blew me out of the water, loved it. He said, the whole package, knowledge, boldness, anti-corruption, professionalism, vibe, energy, charisma, humor, attitude, appearance. He believes in you because you believe in Impassive. I mean, Ash has said a lot of nice things about a lot of people. I think he hit just about every point head on, and I agree with him so much. So, all right, I'll actually send you that screenshot, young lady.
Thank
So
you. Thank you
hanging on
so
your
much,
wall.
Chris and Ash. And, I think maybe Ash is another brother from another mother. He's the guy who's balking that he's the disruptor that I don't mean to be, but we just are because we know we can do it better.
Yeah, and I said that wrong. He believes in your cause and the belief in Impassive. I mean, like I said, you took it and you mixed it in beautiful. I was like, wow, I didn't expect that. That's what about my whole mindset. Couldn't think of a question, but I didn't expect that. That was perfect. So I'm really thinking that you and Ash might have had a phone call and talked about it, because you guys are so it seems like you're just one-on-one with each other and you're talking about everything perfect. So I'll keep that one to myself, but I know that you didn't, but I think right now you're a rock star. And
thank you, Chris. I
I'm looking
appreciate it.
forward
And
to this.
remember that I'm being taught by you guys. So I am a reflection of your own education and the ability to stay with the visits. And each week I learn another pearl. And I'm not so happy with the 5-hour-long sessions myself because of my schedule, but some of the minutes of the meeting have really helped me keep up with things when I couldn't attend. So, I wanted to just thank all of you guys, because you're the ones that were teaching me, especially Margaret Mead, who helped me with, what could I narrow down my speech on? Margaret, thank you for helping me last night say, well, I have a plethora of things to speak about. How can we focus this down to what is required for what the purpose is here today? So thanks again, Margaret.
I think we have the lady that signed you up on here too. I'd like to hear from her a little later. We'll get some of these hands, but I'm going to let you know, around the world is blowing up my phone saying, where the heck did this lady come from? I love her. I'm getting that from everybody. So
that makes me happy.
All right, Jean, my beautiful sister, Jean Olivia, unmute yourself, please. I know you got something good.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying not to get emotional, because I could talk to you for 10 days about your entire presentation. You touched on things that I have been interested in since I was a child and always believed in, and then had the entire world, tell me that these things were not possible, as you've discussed. So you are just right up my alley. I love the entire presentations, all of the analogies, like Chris said, incorporating your work with how it fits into what ONPASSIVE is doing is just absolutely brilliant. The music, light, color, sound, all frequency, all these things. I had a job in the pharma industry for a long time because I needed something for benefits for my family. The entire time I was there, I'm like, I know I was about energy medicine, light and frequency, all of these things that were just starting to be talked about, but every time they got suppressed. And I was so conflicted, and I finally left that job. And your presence in my life now is just an answer to prayer. You are a walking example of your work. Look at the way that your mind is, your youthfulness, your everything. You are a literal walking example of everything that you are doing. And I'm going to end, because again, I could talk to you forever, but I'm going to end with some really, really good news for you. And that's something that you can edit on your slides. And that is that O Connect is not limited at 20,000. It is unlimited.
Really?
You can talk to the world.
That is awesome.
So thank you so much, Deb. I'm so honored to meet you, and I cannot wait to work with you going forward.
Let's get busy. Let's go.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jean. I really appreciate that.
And again, Jean, excellent. I knew that would be excellent. Every time you say something, it's excellent. And you can sing. You're the whole package too. Don't you forget. Ooh. Now, if you guys want to connect with the doctor, you can private chat. And doctor, I'm pretty sure you know how to do that. You want to send each other's emails, and you guys can start a connection and let it grow. That's what ONPASSIVE is about, connecting to the right individuals and just letting it go wild. So if you have that in the chat, if you want to privately chat to doctor and send her email and let her write it down. I think she'd probably have I think she's gonna have some Zooms coming up. That's what I think. So, Gene, thank you very much. Okay, now we got the guy who I call him the cat man because I think he's got 9 lives. The guy's always going, you'll get a key witness out of this one. Key is in the medical business, and I'm sure he's going to let us know. Key Windle, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Come on down.
Hey, Chris, I'm doing great. Much better. I'll start by again thanking everybody for your prayers for me. Deb, you may not. I just saw you the other night on Ash's webinar, a webinar that you spoke and came out, and I take my hat off to you. I can't imagine what you went through. Well, I can imagine it because I've seen it. I'm a registered respiratory therapist. I've been in the medical field for 34 years. I have seen the corruption that you speak of. I've seen doctors throw keyboards because the software that they were using in the emergency room would not allow them to order the test that they wanted to. They had to override it, like a CT with contrast. You know this, and I'm not going to say the software name because I'm afraid of that company coming after me. And Deb kind of can speak to what I'm speaking of. I am interested in a lot of what you do. I take a little blood pressure medicine. I would love to start using light therapy to help with that for the vasodilatation. I'm very familiar with nitric oxide. Guys, we use that in the PICU pediatric for pulmonary hypertension to dilate. So what she was speaking of to increase nitric oxide level, your body produces it naturally, but it's a vasodilatation, which anybody here that takes blood pressure medicine would benefit from increased nitric oxide in your body. But Deborah, the one thing that, and I was going to speak to what Gene said, that Zoom limits you, ONPASSIVE doesn't, and I have a feeling she's correct. You are going to have a lot of people following you. I, for one, am one of those people. I'm interested in light therapy, and Jeffrey Morlock and I are pretty close, and he's turned me on to vibration, and
Excellent.
I've started, using that. And Jeffrey's not here; he's on vacation. But welcome. You are going to be a resource person that many people are going to come to, and we support you and glad to have you in this family. And the one thing that I do want to ask you, because I know you touched on it, and this goes as to living proof of the corruption in the medical field and the hypocrisy. How many colleagues did you say are no longer walking this earth for what they were preaching?
I've lost count. When I was 10 years ago seeking to bring a light to the autism epidemic, 82 of my colleagues in natural medicine who were very specifically experts in natural medicine or vaccine, they seemed to be taken off the playing field, off the chessboard a decade before this epidemic ever arrived. I was very concerned now that many doctors that continue to take the jab are now dying. We've had 4, 6, half a dozen Canadian doctors die in the last 2 months, in young 40-year-old doctors. I know that the statistics worldwide are coming out, and I'm not going to bring all the politics of world politics into tonight, but I can say to this, we shouldn't be putting foreign substances in our body that we haven't tested and have informed consent. That's against the do no harm Hippocratic oath as #1 issue. And if we don't know what's in those vaccines, how could we consent to them? So we have to actually look back at evidence-based medicine again, which was a major famous cardiologist, I'm sorry, I forget his name this morning, who advocated public health measures, has retracted himself today and said, no, the statistics show that you have to have 119 people vaccinated to prevent one person from getting it. So what's the bother? I mean, you're having way more harm done than good, and for a very expensive thing that people are not really willing to do anymore now that they know the true statistics of what's happening. So you can rush something by in an emergency room. I would rush by the CAT scan. If you were dying of a brain bleed right now, I would drill a burr hole in your head and I wouldn't ask for permission. I would save your life in that minute, right?
Right.
But there's very rare circumstances in my whole career where I ever had to abandon all my ethics, all my training, all my gut feelings to do something against what was normally a natural process. And that's where us doctors, because of the monetary difficulty, I mean, it was hard for me after 25 years doing my best work to walk away from my job and quit in disgust because of corporate dishonor.
Yeah.
But how many other doctors are walking away? They have kids. I didn't have,
They can't afford it.
So if we can't afford medicine and we're using medicine that is so unaffordable that nobody can get better, we're walking down the wrong path here.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It's just anti-science. And I hate to use that word because I heard Dr. Fauci say, I'm science. Well, what is science? It's double-blind, randomized, placebo-controlled trials to see if you're doing what you say you are and that you have no side effects that are worse than what you're doing.
Yeah.
Most people don't realize, I mean, that a drug has, everything has an on, an off, or a maybe.
Right.
And that maybe is called placebo effect, 33% of every equation.
Correct.
Well, you only have to have 5% above placebo to get a drug approved. So that means the drugs that we're using are 38% effective. Now, how good is that for, if you were 38% voted in as a president, how much would that do for you, right? We have to start
Correct.
realizing that mathematics never lies.
Yeah, I took the vaccine for COVID because the university that I was working at, they required us to. And of course, as respiratory therapists, we were on the front line of everybody coming in hypoxic, short of breath, and in respiratory failure. But I had just completed AFib, A-flutter ablations in June and December, just prior to COVID hitting. And nobody can answer my questions as to the side effects on my heart muscle and my concerns with the vaccine. And of course, I was forced to take the vaccine and I need my job, so I took it. And within 2 weeks, I started having some side effects. So when it came time for my booster, or not my booster, but actually the second shot, pre-booster, I refused it. And I ended up leaving that university and going to another hospital. But
well, I think that you're wise to look at your own body, to consent, and when something doesn't seem right, don't continue to repeat the same mistake.
Correct.
And I'm not here to bash anybody because I don't want to get this episode censored in any way.
Right.
I want to say that if you do your own research and you consent for whatever's good for you, then you got to stick by your decision. But if that decision turns out to be wrong, you have to be man enough to turn around and go back the other way and correct it. So we have to stop and correct, as we say in the new quantum grammar.
Absolutely.
Deborah Key, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I kind of want to keep that out of the thing right now because we all know it causes issues.
Yeah,
I agree.
If you guys want to talk privately, I would love for you to do that. But on this one, I'd like to keep it open because there's so many opinions on that. And I want lovers, not fighters. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
All right.
We have to make it obsolete by going past it. That's all I'm saying.
No, it was very good. I'm glad it was brought in, but listen, anything you say, I'm really loving right now. So don't you worry a bit. Key, do you have anything else for this?
No, Chris, I'm good. I'm sure Deb and I will talk at some point down the road because I'm so interested in a lot of things that she's doing. I'm also interested in acupuncture, but if you're into that, Deb, I'd love to hear about it. But thank you. Welcome. And kudos to what you do. And
thank you, Key. Really appreciate that. God bless you and your health.
Thank you, you too.
Thanks, Key. Okay, now we have the youngest lady in ONPASSIVE, Miss Willow Griffith. Can you please unmute yourself? And I'll be right back. Willow, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Thank you, darling. I just have been, oh my God, I'm an emotional wreck. I have waited for somebody like you all my life. I have been known in the business as a psychic medium.
Wonderful.
For 75 years, I've practiced, even when I was a child, and I have been ostracized, lost jobs, and everything you say to me resonates like a bell inside my heart.
Oh, I'm glad.
So what I would like to say, the laser therapy, the red light therapy specifically, the Tesla with all of that, people just do not know how powerful this is and how you're going to use a company we love and support to raise us all above this nonsense that they're feeding us on a day-to-day basis that you and I know in our hearts is a damn lie. And we still, like our darling Key, have to accept it in order to keep our jobs.
It's hard being a medium who is vibrating at a high level of the helicopter ride, looking down at untruths. It's very disconcerting, isn't it?
Well, you know what? People do not realize as a medium, that doesn't necessarily mean we're all woo-woo. I have studied science all my life, you know. And when you mentioned, you know, there were people losing their lives and stuff, people don't know. Psychic mediums that work for the government were knocked off on a regular basis because we just knew too much. Well, I was in the remote viewing area of the Department of Defense. We had to sign a 50-year guarantee we wouldn't reveal a thing that we learned. And we didn't, and none of us, we were too scared.
Yeah.
So I so relate to what you've been telling us. It absolutely mesmerized me when I heard you the first time. And I told Chris in my heart, you found a winner. And I really want you to adopt me, if you will. I'm 82 and I don't eat much. So, I will volunteer to be one of your cohorts, darling.
You're 82 going on 36.
Thank you. Don't I hope I am. But I am going to say this much. I hope you'll do. You took a presentation and sparked my interest. I've been in ONPASSIVE for almost 4 years. I've been to every webinar and I listened to all of them. But you made a webinar exciting again. Mr. Ash was so right. I just want to add one more thing. I don't want to take up other people's time. But when I saw Mr. Ash for the first time, being a psychic medium, the first thing I seen were all this around him, all of this psychic feelings around him and the angels. And I said to my daughter, and she thought I was nutty, and you know, she doesn't really believe too much in being able to see angels. But anyway, I said, oh my God, he's surrounded. There's something to what this man's saying. And his heart was pumping gold light when I looked at him.
Wow.
So that was a seller for me. I never doubted him from a minute on from that day forth. But when I saw you the other night on Chris's show, you have the same aura.
Wow, that's wonderful.
And it's expanded through the 8, chakra levels. And so is Mr. Ash's. So there's something to be said that we are God-led, that ONPASSIVE is, it was time for Ash to do this, and it happened. So Deborah, I hope that I become your new best friend, love. I'll be at all of your Zooms, and I'll be singing your praises because I am so pleased and so proud of our Chris to find you, because we need some more people that will help us keep our interests alive. So it doesn't look like they're, like dog eating dog. We got out of that. And we're moving into a new life. Let's make that new life better than what we're walking away from. Don't perpetuate the problems of the past and leave them. You're a futurist. You see the future of medicine. You see the future of self-healing. And I'm a healer, and I know what it takes. I learned from Dr. Lynn McTaggart. I don't know if you're familiar with her.
Yes.
And her healing power of 8. So all of the healers that are in my groups are in groups of 8. And I have 32 groups of 8 healers that when any of us get sick, I right away I say, okay, we got this week. We got to focus on this and this. And I see people healing here that I never thought they'd make it out of. Key Wendell was one of them. I thought they were going to lose Key. And same with Ron Holbert. We prayed for them for days. But what you do is you raise people's consciousness. Don't ever stop, Deborah. Don't let them hold you back. You keep going. I've been spitting in science's eye for years and years and years. And it takes bravery.
Yeah.
And you're brave. And Ash sees it.
Yeah.
So thank you, darling.
Thank you so much, Willow. Your power of intention is the healing modality that you use with mediumship.
Absolutely.
And that is what we now know in science, is that when you say out loud, I consciously intend to heal myself, your brain will execute that software command and heal yourself. So we have to be careful how we speak. And I love the way you speak there with your intention. And about a half a dozen of my closest friends are psychic mediums. So maybe I'm getting some good lessons from them over the years to be a little more intuitive and listen to the truth that rings and resonates. Whereas, untruth is discordant and disconnects itself and eventually crumbles. So that's why I think Ash is getting this powerful building and building and building, because his core energy is surrounded by our core energies, and then it starts becoming protective to the whole company and to him as well. So thank you for those blessings. I send them right back at you and everybody in this room.
Hey, Deborah, do you use in your teachings the philosophy of Dr. Hawkins's map of consciousness?
Hawkins, yes. And I love so many of them, but Dr. Hamer, the new medicine in Spain, showed that every single conflict in any organ comes from an emotional wound first.
Exactly.
That blows the fuse in your head at the junction box called the ganglion, like your fuse panel in the basement. You blew the lamp down to the living room when you plugged in the extra fan or something. So when you plug in an extra trauma or shock to the body, you can blow a fuse related to that emotion, and the organ connected to that emotion will then be less electrically efficient and maybe be more vulnerable to be invaded by parasites or diseases. So we have to work on our emotional healing, folks. And anytime you have a wound, you must say to yourself, I consciously was stressed, say it past tense. I was stressed by that, but I'm over it, so that you don't leave the fuse blown. You have to unfuse, you have to fix the fuse as close to the injury as possible. It's when you don't fix it for years that it creates a dead hole in the wound, and then all the psychotherapy in the world can't get to the dead hole.
That's why post-traumatic stress syndrome, I'm so fascinated by it, because so many people suffer from it and they don't know.
Yeah. And that's where quantum medicine helps, because you can broadcast into that hole with a magnet, fix all the wound, and then they wake up the fuse, and then they start feeling, oh, I guess I really was bothered by that now that I think about it.
Yep.
And then by talking it out loud, they can get through it. So thank you so much for those wonderful comments.
I could talk to you all night. I'm going to be good. They all know that I got a big mouth, so I'll be quiet. But I want to say I'm just delighted.
Okay,
just
thank
delighted.
you, Willow.
Thank you.
You're precious. Thank you.
Willow, you do not have a big mouth. You just have lots of words in that head. I love you, sister. You know that. Okay. I want to say something kind of cute, Deborah, excuse me, doctor, do you know Susie McCrae?
I don't know her personally. I'm a fan. I watch her on all her shows.
Okay, that's all I need to know, because Ash just said she's as perfect as Susie McCrae. That's what he just told me. So I thought, oh, I'm definitely, because I know Susie is listening on YouTube right now. So
I love Susie. I'm shouting out to you, girl. You bring in the humor right at the exact moment where you know where to pull the trigger on the change of tone. I love it.
Susie is a riot, actually. I got to hang out with her.
Pure joy, as one comment says here.
A lot of fun. Okay, I'm gonna William, give me a second. Julie's got to go pick up her daughter, and she's dying to talk to this lady because this is Julie's life. Trust me. Julie, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Chris. Hello, Dr. Drake, and
Hi,
I'm
Julie.
so sorry I cut in front of everyone. I so appreciate you coming out, and I'm like really emotional right now. you're the person that I'm looking forward to meet and to learn from. What you're saying here today and what you have been practicing, I cannot wait to learn more from you, to follow you, and thank you so much for whoever connecting you with ONPASSIVE. It is a blessing to have you here. And I just wanted to let you know, I have 2 daughters, and I'm jokingly saying this, but this is true. I want it to the day that I die, I want to be pretty as the day that I was born. Therefore, about 6 years ago, I have decided not to have anything strange, anything medicine. I'm not talking about medicine, but not taking even over the counter, nothing entering my body except what God is giving me, the internal healing, right? The internal healing. So when you mentioned about meridian, when you mentioned about yin yang, when you mentioned all of the things that you are mentioning, the healing, inner healing, and all the natural thing that it's really sucked me right into it. So I just want to say thank you so much. And I'm so looking forward to support you until the day I die and your missions and what you are doing. I do have 2 daughters, and I want them, by the end of their life, I want them to be as beautiful as they are the day that they were born. And many of us here, I bet many of us here. So that is really a jokingly things that I say every day, but that's my goal. My mission is to do that. And thank you so much for making that happen, because I believe that you are making happen for many of us. So thank you so much. And if there are any, there's so many things that I could support you. I actually connected with you on LinkedIn. I would love to support you until the day I die. Thank you so much.
God bless you,
so
Julie.
appreciate you.
You know, Julie, you're a mother who's being the best teacher of all to your children, that you're actually loving yourself enough to want to be present for longevity for their sake, and also to show them these things. And I believe that you're a great leader in this company as well, through your generosity, your steadiness. I can see that you'd be a great mom as well from the way you handle these groups. So I applaud you as well for being so charming and for being so inclusive.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You guys are gonna make me cry. Stop it.
We'll get to
Okay.
you next, Chris.
Yeah, oh boy, I tell you. All right, Julie, go get Celestine and drive careful, please. Thank you very much. I apologize, everyone, but if anyone else has to go get a kid, let me know. William, the Marshmallow DeLorme, please unmute yourself and welcome and meet Dr. Drake. There you go, William. What you got?
Hello, Dr. Deb.
Good evening, William.
Yes, I'm going through a real challenge right now. I've been in the hospital for 2.5 months.
Wow.
I lost my balance, had COVID, and went into the COVID floor, and I thought I was only going to have 1 bag of IV, but it turned out a month and 3/4, sometimes 2 a day.
You must have an awful lot of fortitude to have walked your way out of that hospital. Good on you.
If I wasn't strong when I went in, I would have never made it.
Your internal fortitude has led you to rebuke the negative and come above it. So your spiritual energy is so powerful. You brought yourself from the brink, and I applaud you. Not too many people have the mental ability to withstand that kind of sort of mental torture. Now you have to now say it was past. My stress was behind me. I have already survived. I'm living 1 day at a time, 10 minutes at a time.
So I want to ask, is there anything that can improve my balance?
Yes, I can't give advice over the phone, can't do a haircut all over the line, right? But I can tell you that the entire electrical field of the body can be rewired, just like you could have Norton antivirus software overwrite corrupt files on your body. You can use light and sound to reprogram the cerebellum, the hearing mechanisms, all of which, if I may say just quickly, every single imbalance or ear problem is related to antibodies to gluten. So if you have any balance problem whatsoever, you need to stop eating wheat and gluten because it has the same coating as your ears. And when you're under stress and sickness, your immune cascade releases anti-gluten antibodies to stand on the guard of your nerve endings. So you're gluing up your ears with the glue of gluten. And in the hospital, because of antibiotics or morphine and painkillers, these are also gluing up the hearing. So I would like to suggest that I can't give any diagnosis over the phone here, but I would like to suggest to you that, yes, everything that I know of in all of medicine can be improved to some degree with the right key to the keyhole that matches its frequency. If you keep using the wrong drug of the wrong frequency and chase 22 ripple effects, you never get to the thorn in the middle. So we would use a quantum scanner in your case and scan 20,000 items in your body in 3 minutes flat using your voice, no blood work required, and see where is the balance off. Is it toxic, metallic, poison, infection, postural? So it could be 100 reasons, right? Now, in your case, it might be 20 of those 100 reasons. Somebody else on this panel might have a different 20 reasons. So no two people are alike, and that's where quantum medicine can give you the exact map of your body, like a GPS coordinate, and say, dive down there into that food poisoning in his gut that's triggering the celiac in his ears. Okay.
I am improving. I'm going to pro physio, although it is expensive. I can't go once a week. I'm waiting for the apples to fall.
So how much gluten are you eating?
What do you mean gluten, like bread?
Yep.
I eat pita bread, brown bread.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. You're going to go on to rice and turkey to fill yourself with zinc and stem cells and serotonin instead of pizza and beer and chicken and gluten.
Chicken, is chicken okay?
Chicken is not okay. It's full of gluten because of the wheat-fed pellets in the muscle of the chicken. So anybody who has any inflammation, they have to stop chicken for 3 weeks, get over the inflammation, and maybe try to introduce it again. But gluten in chicken and in wheat are the #1 glue in the ear to cause dizziness, cerebellar antibodies, Purkinje heart antibodies.
No good. Like
Pardon?
brown bread, sliced brown bread is no good.
Absolutely terrible for you.
Yeah.
So you might want to learn about that in my bioterrain class. Take a little lesson on how you can help yourself with natural minerals, vitamins, and more gluten-free foods. And it'll make a huge difference in your life, okay?
I am improving, so they're getting me up at church going into
right, but they haven't plucked the original thorn.
So I am improving. So
not fast enough for my liking.
Not fast enough.
Hey, Dr. William, get in contact with the doc. Sounds like she's got some really cool things that you could do. And I want to see you on that dirt bike riding around here in a couple months.
That's it.
Can I put my phone number in the chat and give it to her? She can give me a call.
Yeah, you can. Although Margaret Mead, could you assist me in picking up some of these chat numbers if you wouldn't mind assisting me?
There you go.
Thanks.
Good connections. Yeah, guys, just to let you know, as much as I love this lady, I actually asked Ash, I want her for Christmas, but she cannot give out stuff like she said if it's a legal thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it. So, but
Exactly.
if you want to contact her, do it that way, man. I got no problem with that. She wants to help you. As you can see, she's a true unpassive angel. William, you have anything else, my brother?
So I'll go ahead and put my phone number in the chat. Somebody can help me out, please.
With pleasure, William.
We'll get you, William.
Thank you.
You're welcome, brother. Have a good evening. Stay and keep watching, William. Oh, and I got to introduce this lady. Robin Noble, I think you know. Very
wonderful.
Very good friend of mine. And she's got her hand up, so I'm definitely going to call her. Robin, please unmute yourself.
Can I thank Robin before we even begin? She's been helping me get my founding Penders professors in there. She's been working with me back and forth like a tennis player. She's a true pro and a consummate assistant. Thank you so much.
Dr. Deb, what a joy to be speaking with you.
Nice to speak with you and your gorgeous voice.
Thank you. First of all, standing ovation. Absolutely exquisite presentation.
Thank you.
The seamless way in which you blended health, wellness on passive, what the evolving of the medical system into where we are now with what you were discussing, interactive in at levels that explained it so succinctly, paralleled the growth of what ONPASSIVE has done to where we are now, bringing in the different tools to help people to understand. This has brought a whole new level of understanding to founders who are listening to this webinar and who will continue to listen through the recordings. I was very, very fortunate to get involved with complementary, alternative, holistic therapies and way of life back in the 1980s. And much of what you have studied and what you have taken to a much higher level, I was able to use as I traveled around the world. And being part of ONPASSIVE has brought me such joy because in many ways, it has connected the world for me and through many of the countries and the places that I've been to. But listening to you again tonight, it reminded me of the joy and the healings and the lessons of where I went and learned around the world. And the different theories, the different philosophies, the different treatments, beliefs. And with all these wonderful ONPASSIVE angels in all the different countries and listening to you and having you help and ignite something that was within them that might have been a little bit dormant, that might have been fearful to become exposed again, you have now lit up all these lights around the world. And the connectivity through ONPASSIVE, in addition to the connectivity now through what you were talking about, has once again opened up not only the chakras, not only one's heart, but the energies, the vibrations, the light, the love that we all have innately that has either been forgotten, suppressed, pushed down, or lost through life, events, activities, accidents, and other traumas that we may or may not have been involved with directly or indirectly. So thank you so much for what you have brought this evening to the perspective of so many being able to understand and stand with you side by side, holding hands, to be able to take this knowledge, awareness, and love to the next steps through the products that we have with Ash through ONPASSIVE. We have to heal the past, as we do have to do in the history books, and we can do that through our heart, through our energies, through our vibrations of forgiveness, gratitude, appreciation, and most definitely of love. I'm going to bring this full circle with regards to, at times, the animosity and the frustration that one has with the medical fields as one turns to this alternative complementary way of looking at life and moving forward. But please remember that the doctors and the nurses were doing the best that they can do through systems that they are being taught at the time as they go through college and go forth into the world. They also have got good hearts in that they do truly want to help humans and bring out the best wellness in everybody as it is. Let us all come together with all of this and this new knowledge and awakening once again, of reawakening for some, to be able to say thank you to them, bless them, hold them in love and gratitude, but also to bring in the energy and the beauty of what you, Dr. Deb, are talking about tonight, and to help to reawaken and to help everybody who's so excited about what you've heard, to take that now, to help them learn it and to further their love of helping people even more. Thank you so much, everybody. Dr. Deb, I look forward to meeting you, of course, in person. We're in Toronto together.
Yes, we
and
must
I know
connect.
many of your professors. I do know many of your professors. I know of your organization and your commitment to what you bring forward. And it was going to be such a joy, a blessing, and a true honor to be able to work with you through ONPASSIVE.
Get my point across that we do have the technology and we do have the expertise. We just have to start using it. So I just want to say thank you to all of you tonight for the questions that you've asked and for the opportunity to share what I know. And I know that a lot of you have other skills that you know. And can you imagine when we all merge it together and the greatest, new culture coming? It's going to be awesome.
Well, Dr. Deborah Drake, it's been simply my pleasure. If you could see the excitement, my phone is still blowing up from around the world. Like, who the heck is this lady? Well, now you know Dr. Deborah Drake. Phenomenal presentation. I don't think there's nothing. I don't know how your head holds all that stuff in there. I mean, You said words I don't think I've ever heard from about. I think you're amazing. You did not get stumped on anything. You had a great answer for every question. And I personally want to thank you. I wish everyone would just right now give her a round of applause that's on this webinar. And YouTube, I know, is going crazy with you. I know Ash really enjoyed you. I'm sure his wife really enjoyed with you, but I loved it. But before I let you go, I want to say thank you to everyone that helped out, all the brand new co-hosts. And I'm trying to do this fast because I want to get, I know Rob and Rob Lynn Live's coming on in 13 minutes. So Bridget for co-host, Deborah, I already got Deborah, she's the doctor. John Barilla for watching the chat and everything else. Julie Wynn, Lynn Nakamoto, Lister T, Narelle Warcon. Did I miss anyone? Thank you for being an excellent co-host. Daryl Cook, who I know is in the background, he writes notes. He'll probably watch us later. He writes excellent notes. Thank you for everyone on here. I'm gonna put it down as my number one favorite so far. We've done quite a few of these. Absolutely loved it. Doctor, I hope to see more of you. And I can't wait to when we do launch, because I think what you got going, the people that are, we held almost 200 people this whole round. People normally don't stay up this late there. They got to go to work, but you held 200 people up to about a half hour ago, which was excellent. And I expect to hear your name quite a bit in the next couple of days, because I think you just amazed everyone. And I do appreciate you for coming. Oh, bless. You got the last words, Doctor. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chris. I really appreciate you giving me the clarity, the honesty. Your transparency is really infectious as well. And you've really inspired me to come forward out of my kind of back room where I've been kind of wondering, where is it safe to come out? And I feel very blessed to have a place that's safe for me, that is appreciative of the struggles that I've been through, which are well in the rear view mirror now. And let's just keep our eye on the center of the road and stay out of those ditches, folks. Keep your mouth clean, your ideas clean, your attitude clean, and you will have a fantastic, business ahead of you. And ONPASSIVE is just the roller skating wheels underneath our wheels to get going. So let's go forward, and thank to Ash Mufera for his visionary and God blessed, protection of him, so that he may continue to lead us in the way that he has been. So God bless all of you tonight, folks, and stay safe.
Did Francesca ever come back in?
Chris,
Yeah.
I'm here. And I know clock is ticking, and this is
no. Take your time. I've been waiting for you. I can't control you.
Thanks, Chris.
Go right ahead. Sorry, guys. The pillow's going to come in a little bit. Go ahead, Francesca.
Oh, thanks, Chris. The love and joy in my heart from this evening this, oh bless, I know it's morning for some. It's just extraordinary. And my dear friend, Deborah Drake and Margaret Mead, when I came on with ONPASSIVE, of course, I got onto them right away, and they got the vision like toot sweet. They came in like boom, boom. And wow, Deborah is extraordinary, as you all know. She's a genius, as you now all know. And her wealth of knowledge, exactly, Chris. I don't know how she holds it in her head. And Marty said that too. And it's just going to be an incredible ride, because she is such a visionary to change the world and interrupt what's going on in the health departments of the world with hospitals. Let's change that whole thing. Like, we are the correction, not only to one corruption of corporate, but medical corruption. I'm just going to put it that way. And I mean, her vision is huge. Her heart is huge. She's, as Ash said it so perfectly, she's charismatic, she's joyful, she's fun, she's got a great sense of humor. And this is Canadian Thanksgiving long weekend coming up, and I have the pleasure of going up to Margaret's family cottage with Deborah and Margaret tomorrow. So you can all come with us. We'll be celebrating this wonderful coming out of Deborah with ONPASSIVE, so you can all know her now. And the engine is roaring, and I think the ship has left the port, and we're all on the journey that we can utilize her genius and expand and change the world. So thank you. I love you all. Thanks so much, everyone. You're just the best. This is such a beautiful family. I'm just so touched and fortunate to be with all of you. It's certainly the best part part that my life has had ever happening in these days with being with you all over these last few months. So it's the gratitude and love I have for Ash Mufera and his vision, and all of us coming together is just mind-blowing and extraordinary. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank
you, Francesca, for introducing me and for sticking with me and teaching me the ropes and getting me on track and helping us grow a team. And it's really important for me to recognize that I have other people around me supporting me, and we all need to support each other. We can't all do it alone, but it's a whole lot more fun when you get the girls together and do it together. So I encourage all of you to keep on with your teams and showing them how to do things and get that scrum going every 15 minutes, once a week, whatever it takes. Just pass it on, okay?
Beautiful. And I want to say thank you to Margaret, who has been the person behind the scenes, probably got a lot of information. And if you missed getting some information to Margaret, send it to me. I promise you I will get it to Dr. Margaret. Thank you very much for probably did a lot of work tonight, didn't you? Go ahead. You want to say something, Margaret, real quick?
Well, I just want to say I'm so happy to be here, and we do have a lot of fun. So my favorite word in the world, and has been, I've been a realtor for 42 years now, and the only question I ever ask anybody when I meet them is, are you willing to have fun? And if the answer is yes, then I'll work with them. If the answer is hesitant, I go, ooh, I think you better find somebody else to work with. Anyway, so I just feel that this family is, again, another F word, which is fun. And I love it when, we hear it over and over again, within the ONPASSIVE family, we say this word a lot, and I'm so happy. And that's probably why we're all together now.
Well, thank you, Margaret. It's been my pleasure. Really, really great webinar. I also want to thank my brother, Barty DeGarmo, for getting us this Zoom. I want to thank Ash Mufara and his family. I know that he's probably still listening, and he's very excited about this. Ash believe it or not, Ash is a quiet guy. I don't ever ask. So that's the first time I said, what do you think? And he bombed me with that, what he thought, which I thought was really cool. But it's late. Rob and Lynn, I got to say it right. The Rob Lynn show starts in 5 or 6 minutes. So make sure you get on there. They do a midnight.
Yeah.
John, go ahead. You want to say it?
I was just going to say it's Roblin Live, and they're waiting, and I'm sure people, and this has been a wonderful webinar. Time to go.
All right. We'll see you later, Doctor. Big hugs and kisses to you. I know I'm going to see you soon. God bless every one of you. Remember, we're here to clean up the mess with Bless, so let's do it. Good night, y'all. Go see
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Everybody.
Good night.